Troubleshooting your interactive whiteboard. There is nothing more frustrating in technology than relying on it and having it not work correctly. So one of the things that we want you to be able to do is to do some basic troubleshooting on everything that you encounter. That's going to make everything run a little bit smoother in your classroom. First and foremost, my pens. If your pens are not working correctly, check the blue light. By pushing in this button, it'll show me a blue light, and that will tell me whether or not my batteries are charged. Unfortunately, it will only tell me if I have power or not how much power I have. So you might ask yourself, when was the last time I removed the back, took out the battery, and charged it? My recommendation is at least every 4 weeks, but you may need to charge a little more often, especially if you use your pens more often than that. You'll start to figure out the rhythm. So if your pens are not working, first thing I would check is your battery's charged. Make sure that it's plugged in. The green light will turn on. When there's a green light, it's charging. When the light goes off, it's completed its charge. It's important to note that you will still be able to write on your board, but you will not be able to use the PC interactivity if you have minimal charge. So it takes more battery power to interact with the computer than it does just to write on your screen. So if you find that you can write but you can't use your computer, try your battery. The next thing that I would look at would be down here in the right-hand corner, PC interactivity. If I'm attempting to interact with my computer, is that on? If not, perhaps I want to select it to turn it on, or I want to turn it off. Yes, I can use my pen. We'll erase that. Let's turn it back on and see if that toggled something to make it useful. And in fact, it did. You can see now that I can select using my pen. Now I can select using my pen. If that doesn't work, please make sure that you have both the USB white cable and your HDMI cable plugged into the dongle that's then plugged into your computer. If both of those are not connected and a good connection, maybe one slipped and started falling out, it will not connect correctly to your computer. Finally, there are two other options we can do if it is in fact a computer issue. The first is on your remote. You'll see a button right next to the selection wheel that says User. When I hold in User, it will automatically bring up the auto calibration. Now I want to select Yes and allow it to auto calibrate to make sure that everything syncs up nicely. It's important to note you should not have magnets on your board when you're attempting to calibrate, or ideally ever. If you find that your pens are acting funny, ask yourselves if you have magnetic things on your board. They will interfere with your projector's abilities. Okay, so I'm going to select the auto calibrate, and then I'm going to step away. And you can see once I step away, it's going to go through and flash a couple lights. And think about it, when it's done calibrating, it'll either give me a message that it could not complete calibration, or it'll simply bring my computer back. So now, my pen has full charge, my cables are connected correctly, I have auto-calibrated and it's worked well, and my PC interactivity has been turned on in my computer. So now I should be able to interact. As a last effort, if you cannot get your pens connected to your whiteboard using those steps, or any other means that you've tried, but I recommend going through that checklist that I just mentioned. Try restarting your computer. Restarting your computer is one of the best troubleshooting things that you can do. This is why we recommend that you do it at least every 7 days, but ideally, you should do it as often as once a day. It'll help clear out anything that's stuck in your computer or any communication issues. So again, if your battery is fully charged, if your cables are connected correctly, if your PC interactivity is turned on, and you're calibrated and your pens are still not working, try restarting your computer and that should solve your issue.